Covering the war on Gaza over the past 2 years, we reported a lot about death. But if you think about it, we're actually reporting about life. Almost 70,000 Palestinians have been killed by Israel in Gaza since October 7, 2023. Who have they left behind? Who misses them? And how do they cope? How do they survive the war that their loved ones or their neighbors didn't? What do they do the next morning and the morning after that, with a little less each day? How do they live? We often talk about the mass destruction and grave loss and unspeakable agony. We speak of scale and impact. 90% of residential buildings are damaged. A child is killed every hour. Life expectancy in the Strip has fallen to 40. This is all disturbing and important, no doubt. But this big picture is made up of an infinite mosaic of very real, individual human experiences. 2.2 million of them. We can't tell all of their stories, but we can start somewhere. This is Beyond the Headlines, and I'm your guest host, Bam Barkawi. In this special episode, we mark the second anniversary of Israel's war on Gaza. We bring you the testimonies of two people whose lives are forever changed. They share with us their stories of grief and hope, and of the extraordinary and the mundane. And they tell us about the material and invisible things the war has stolen from them.
أنا يحيى من غزة وقررت أصنع 99 ذكرى حلوة.
99 memories. This is Yahya's story.
الامتنان. واليوم الذكرى رقم 13 رفقاً بهن.
Yahya Mahmoud is a young content creator in Gaza. He's been making something quite special over the last year or so. Something you wouldn't really expect in the middle of a war.
الذكرى بدأت مع هاي الزجاجة.
Yahya is making memories.
قررنا صناعة كيكة من الصفر.
Every week or so, he comes up with a creative skit, something heartwarming, or a moment for hope, or a selfless act, and he turns it into a social media video. And then he writes these ideas down and adds them to a jar. Every video starts the same way.
أنا يحيى من غزة وقررت أصنع 99 ذكرى حلوة.
I'm Yahya from Gaza, and I decided to create 99 beautiful memories.
كانت أول ذكرى كنا مارقين بوقت صعب جدا جدا. كان هي أنا ما كنت كتبها أنها تكون الذكرى الأولى.
The first memory was born at an especially difficult period during the war. It wasn't supposed to be the first of 99, but at the time, people were losing their possessions, as Israel's bombardment spared no one from safety. Families were being displaced time and time again, including Yahya's, and he wanted a way to help.
كانت الذكرى اسمها لزيادة عندك أعطي لغيرك.
The first video he made was a campaign for people to donate things they had in excess, mainly clothes. But he made a point. He wanted people to give away the things they loved the most, a favorite shirt or hoodie, not a worn-out one or an item they no longer wanted.
فإنه أنا وياك تشاركنا إشي زي كأننا تشاركنا الدم والروح كمان نتشارك الثياب.
In the same way we share our blood and our souls, he says, we share our clothes.
كنت أنا حدا دائما بحلم إني أنا أطلع قدام الكاميرا.
Yahya had always wanted to be an on-camera content creator, but had always stayed out of the spotlight, operating from behind the scenes as an anonymous soldier, as he calls it. But then a few years ago, he started his social media page and actually built up a strong following over time, 18,000 followers before the war started. The idea of 99 beautiful memories was something that had been brewing in his mind for a while, a year before the war started. He had these thoughts scribbled down on paper and had a draft of a script for video sketches tucked away in his drawers.
لغاية لما دخلنا بالأحداث.
Until the war began to take a real toll, not just physically, but emotionally.
بعد تقريبا 9 شهور من الأحداث والحرب المستمرة.
About 9 months into the war, Yahya says people began to lose the most important virtue, hope. When we lose hope, life begins to look really bleak.
الحياة سوداوية بشكل كبير.
He looked through his old papers and found his old concept for the 99 Memories series.
حكيت طب إنه ذكريات كيف بصورها؟ لا ما بدي أحط عائق، بدي أصور.
He insisted to overcome the logistical challenges and put his videos out into the world. It was a creative outlet for him and a way to pass the time too, to fill otherwise mundane moments with something productive and positive.
وإنه هذا الإشي جد بيعطيني طاقة وأمل أنا وأهلي واللي حوالينا.
It was a way to give himself and the people around him hope. And that hopefulness, he says, transcends to the people watching his videos too. For anyone who has been following Yahya for the past year, they'll tell you, his kindness, his positivity, his smile, it's infectious. It's almost unfair that someone enduring so much hardship is taking it on himself to lift others up. But that doesn't mean he's not carrying his own pain, his own burdens.
في عندي ثياب وفي عندي أوراق وفي عندي هدايا بسيطة لليوم ما بقدر
Clothes,
أفتحهم
papers, and other
لأنه
sentimental
كلهم
memorabilia.
ذكرياتهم
Yahya can't bring
للأسف
himself to look at them.
كانت ذكرياتهم
He and his
كلها
family have been
سلبية
displaced
وكانت
countless
سلبية
times,
حقيقة.
and he carried
أول
these
ما بديت
items with
ذاكر
him
بدأت
each
أقرأ
time.
أو
But
أقرأ
he
هاي
can't
الأوراق
open them. The photos
أحس
are impossible to
بالحزن
look at, he
الشديد لأنه
says.
أغلب الأشخاص اللي كانوا موجودين أغلبهم رحلوا عن عالمنا.
He can't bear to look at them and see the faces of people who are no longer alive. Yahya has lost 16 members of his family during Israel's war on Gaza. He's lost his house, his university, his favorite spots, his trips to the beach with friends, the library, the reading clubs. It's a lot to lose, difficult to quantify. But nothing, he says, compares to the loss of life.
ما في إيش أغلى من الروح، منهم الكاتب، منهم الملحن،
The
منهم
people he lost, the writer,
الإنسان
the
اللي كان عنده
composer, the
رؤية
one who
فكرية
had a
حلوة،
positive outlook on life, the
الكاتب
one who
والرسمي
cooked and dreamed of being a
اللي كان
chef,
بيعرف يطبخ.
their lives were stolen from them and the people who loved them. Yahya's videos don't ignore the reality. Rather, it's baked into many of the memories he records, like the time he made a makeshift Arab passport.
فقررت أصنع جواز سفر بإيدي. قررت أصنع جواز سفر بإيدي.
He makes 22 pages in it, each with a visa for an Arab country. It's a heartwarming video that allows someone living under siege and occupation to imagine freedom of movement and travel across the region, even though his real passport has expired and been rendered useless. Yahya says his favorite memory to record was maybe the one that's most tinged with sadness.
هي ذكرى ساعي بدون بريد.
He calls it postman without mail, or address not found.
إنه بالعادة ساعي البريد في له بريد بيروح وفي له مكان بيسلم فيه الرسائل.
In the video, Yahya gets
بس
on a
لما أنا
bike
جيت
with
أعمل
mail to
الساعي
deliver,
إنه
but
ما
rides
لقيت
past
ساعي.
bombed out buildings and piles of rubble. He can't find the addresses or the people who used to live there.
قررت أقرأ الرسائل وهان كانت الصدمة.
He sits down to see what's in the mail, a letter from a daughter checking on her mother, but she doesn't know that her mother had already passed. An elderly gentleman sending his glasses and prayer beads to his children, telling them to preserve his possessions. A young man who sent his diploma to his family because they couldn't be there with him to celebrate his graduation. Like he says at the end of the video, it leaves you with mixed emotions, with sadness, but also reminds you that everyone has a story to share, to leave behind. He's now just over halfway through his 99 Memories series, but there was a moment not long ago when he decided to stop.
أغلب الذكريات تحتاج تمويل من ناحية إنه
Yahya wanted the series to advance and grow, and that needed funding. He applied for an opportunity that would help him build his project up, but also would give him and his brother, who films the series, a way to leave Gaza to work on this project abroad. A lot of hopes and dreams depended on this opportunity, he says, but unfortunately, their proposal was rejected. Their hopes for a brighter future were instantly crushed, and Yahya didn't want to work on the series anymore. It was a bitter pill to swallow, but eventually he decided to get back to it.
لقيت إنه في لسه أمل حلو لسه إن شاء
With
الله.
the support of his audience, he says, who he doesn't like to call followers. Friends, he calls them. In every one of his videos, he ends with a signature sign-off.
في أمان الله يا وطن.
في أمان الله يا وطن. It's difficult to convey the sentiment exactly in English. It translates to, God bless you, my homeland. But he says the homeland for him is not just literal, it's also a concept.
الوطن مش مجرد مكان بنعيش فيه.
It's not the place we live in, he says. It's something that lives inside us.
الوطن ممكن يكون لمسة إيد أمك وحضن هداك.
It can be the comforting touch of your mother's hand. It can be your partner in life who listens to you and embraces you. It can be a quiet, cozy corner where you can read a book or listen to music and enjoy something warm to drink.
إنه كل حدا في عنا حياته وطن هو لازم يطلع عليه. هذا الوطن هو سكينته.
The homeland is the source of serenity we all hold on to. The first thing Yahya wants to do when the war is over is cry.
مش ملحقين صدمة ورا صدمة ورا صدمة ورا صدمة.
Shock after shock, loss after loss. He hasn't had the chance to grieve or process what has been stolen from him. But then after that, he's going to be the best content creator in the world. Those are the exact words he used. And once he's created all 99 beautiful memories, he wants others to do the same.
إن شاء الله 99 ذكرى حلوة رح أعمل منها كتاب ورح يحقق مبيعات عالية.
He plans to publish the memories in a book that will travel the world to inspire others to do the same, to make their own jars of 99 beautiful memories of their own.
طبعاً خاص فيه 99 ذكرى حلوة.
I wrote many of my contemplations about this war, The whole meaning of life has changed. The priorities of life has changed. My view for the life and death has changed. Even the happiness for the little things have changed.
Pity and pride. This is Abeer's story.
It feels like a very long time to remember how our lives have been before October 7th.
Abeer Ziad is an academic.
Our identities have become totally different after October 7th. But I was an academic lecturer. I was a scholar, a researcher.
She teaches English language and literature mostly. She's also a mother.
I have 4 children. Most of them are adults and teenagers now.
On the day Abeer spoke to us, she was packing all her things, ready to be displaced again.
I might move to the south, maybe today, maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure. It depends on having a proper transport to carry our luggage.
It was now or never. We either spoke then or risked not hearing from her once she made her way down south, where she may have had to trek hours just to get an internet signal.
I've been preparing everything around so that we can move at any time, especially that the situation in Gaza just escalated and became very dangerous. Day and night, we hear bombardment all the time. It doesn't stop.
We tend to forget the human spirit is just that, human. It can be broken 731 times over. 731 days of war, or genocide as experts are now calling it. Just because something happens hundreds of times over, it doesn't make it normal, and it doesn't make it easier. Israel destroyed Abeer's university as it did all universities across Gaza over the past 2 years. At first, she was able to give her courses online.
When we started teaching online, I taught 1 semester, but then I stopped. I couldn't continue because we had this kind of, frequent displacement. I don't have stable internet. And add to that, my psychological status has become unable to deal with the influx of, sad stories of the students. And my psychology wasn't okay to focus on dealing with the students.
It wasn't just theory classes. Abeer gave them practical assignments to apply the language skills she taught them. She would ask them to send her videos of them speaking in English.
I asked them in another video to speak about their experience in online learning during the war. So within these videos, I would see the settings where they are staying. Most of them were staying in tents. Another group is staying in partially destroyed homes. The students would show me their daily routine, what they do, and how they sometimes have to walk for a long distance so that they would catch the internet signal and to send the assignments or take the exams. This universal agony, this universal struggle that we are in is so overwhelming and difficult to conceive.
An educator seeing her students suffering so much, it was all too much for her to bear.
Many of them told me that they have lost all of the members of the family. And another students told me that they have been extracted from under the rubble. And one of the students that found herself, and I cannot forget her face was totally burned. I couldn't look at the video anymore while she was talking. And despite that, she was doing her assignment very well.
Abeer at the time was also a PhD candidate in her final semester and needed to finish writing her thesis. As time went on, the humanitarian situation became more and more intolerable. Israel's blockade and military escalations got worse. Services were destroyed, and every task, big and small, became a tall order.
Beside that, I have to fill up the buckets of water every day. I have to, wash the clothes on my hand because we didn't have electricity at that time. I had to do the cooking on the wood fire. I call it the Stone Age, chores. With these Stone Age chores, I also have to focus on the academic, achievements. So this was totally time-consuming and exhausting for me. So how can I find time for all of that when we are moving all the time?
It's impossible to understand the toll this takes on someone, especially as we go about our day-to-day lives, taking all the basic comforts of modern life for granted. Abeer sought the help of a therapist to help her cope.
I told my psychiatrist that these demeaning chores broke my spirit. I cannot focus on doing anything. I still have self pity. And she said, if work would make you feel better, if work and doing the things you used to do before would make you better, you should start doing it.
She told her, use whatever resources you have, however little, and just start working. It was hard for her to keep teaching, so she turned to her research instead.
I was able to produce one research article from my thesis, another two journal articles about the genocide and its influence on the academic staff at UCAS. I sent them for publication and I started working on my thesis and managed to finish parts of chapter 4.
Abeer's triumph is not just an academic one, it's also an act of self-preservation, of holding on to one's dignity and refusing to be humiliated. She's taking back what was stolen from her.
From the beginning, the occupation kept dehumanizing us through bringing us back to the Stone Age, through breaking our spirit, through making us, like what they describe us as human animals. But this is the resilience of the Palestinians, is that we don't want them to continue presenting us to the world like this way.
And she made it a point to defy this dehumanization, down to the smallest detail.
When you go out of your home, like you run for your life when there's a bombardment, many people, you see them going out in their pajamas or wearing the prayer clothes. But because I feel that I don't want to make myself, less than I am, I kept wearing the clothes I used to wear when I go to the university. I'm not going out in my pajama in the street. And I'm not going to allow the cameras to take a shot for me like that, to make the occupation feel this kind of happiness that we are all ugly, bad, with dirty. With this, I kept wearing my good clothes. I kept doing my academic career, kept doing it so that I won't have to be dehumanized.
It's painful to imagine that this war could last another day, let alone another year. 2 years is far too long. Palestinians in Gaza mark this tragic anniversary against the backdrop of a possible ceasefire. It cannot come soon enough. But even though talks of rebuilding and restoring life are promising, Gazans have not yet had the chance to mourn all that they have lost in these 2 years.
What we lost is a lot. Beside losing my home, beside losing my memories, my souvenirs I collected from the countries I visited, even the furniture that my husband and I bought with our effort, with our money, and how we changed every piece of it. And it wasn't like a lavish life or something. For me, we were very moderate people, but we tried to have our home cozy.
But like Abeer said at the start, life will never be the same. Its meaning has changed. Her priorities have changed.
The sense of importance for the materials or the items is not there anymore. And I think when we go back, inshallah, after the war is over and we want to build a home again, whether here or any other parts of the world, I think we will have a very simple life. And we will have the simplest furniture because we learned the lesson. These things will weigh you down. My grandmother, she lived in Nakba in 1948. She used to tell me all the stories about that time when she was living in Yahya and how she migrated with nothing except her children. So I now understand why our home was very simple. My grandmother kept saying that we don't need all of these furniture and these things.
The meaning of life has changed. So has the meaning of death.
In the past, when someone dies, you would become sad for a long time and you will not overcome the death easily. But because I have seen many of my friends and family and relatives being killed, the shock at the beginning was so hard. But then after that, it becomes, I can't say it less painful, but I came to this realization that they had a transition from this life to another life. And this idea that they are living somewhere else, like someone who's traveling abroad and you cannot see them right now, is an easy thing for me. Now, one of the things that everybody here says in Gaza is that those who died during the war, they are the one who won because they are in eternal rest. But we who stayed alive, we are in great agony and misery.
This episode was produced by me, Ban Barqawi, and Nada Al-Tahir. It was audio engineered by Arthur Edison, and Du'a Farid is our editor. Thank you for listening.